according to Buster Olney, he believes that Milwaukee could sell high on starting pitcher Freddy Peralta. Cameron Maben also feels that the New York Yankees may actually end up pursuing Peralta this season, most likely sometime in July. So I came up with a couple of trade packages, realistic ones I think, what it could possibly take to go and get Freddy Peralta. But do me a favor, if you love the Yankees and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. So as I said, Buster Olney feels that Milwaukee could end up selling high on Freddy Peralta. Peralta's having a really nice year over there in Milwaukee. 8 starts this year, 4-2 with a 2.18 ERA, 45 and a third innings pitched, 48 strikeouts, a 1.03 whip. Freddy Peralta will become a free agent after the 2026 season. So, whoever were to acquire Freddy Peralta, you have Peralta for the rest of this season and all of next year. Peralta is also making $8 million this year and $8 million next year. Peralta is very affordable as far as payroll goes, but he's going to cost you a ton when it comes to prospects. He's going to cost you a bunch. And if Milwaukee makes him available and the New York Yankees come knocking on their door, if I'm Milwaukee and judging by what they have in their system, which a few of their top prospects are shortstops, third basemen, I get that. But right now they have Joey Ortiz, Caleb Durbin, Bryce Turang in that infield. And Turang is having a very good offensive season. Durbin has like a 641 OPS. Joey Ortiz is absolutely struggling. He's the one that came over, one of 2 players that came over from Baltimore in that Corbin Burns trade. If I'm the Milwaukee Brewers, and if the Yankees come knocking on my door saying, hey, we're interested in Freddy Peralta, the Yankees won't be the only team interested in Freddy Peralta. There's going to be a lot of suitors for him, and rightfully so. The kid's good. And he has a year and a half of control, basically, at a very affordable contract. If I'm the Brewers and the Yankees come a knocking, I'm not even having a discussion with you if you're not including George Lombard Jr. in a trade. Now, you would have to include George Lombard Jr. and probably a major league ready starting pitcher like a Will Warren. I think that could get it done for Freddy Peralta. George Lombard Jr. has absolutely soared through the minor league rankings amongst prospects. He's a 23rd ranked prospect according to Baseball America. The kid had a really great start to his season, earned himself a promotion to Double-A. His stock has dramatically increased. It would probably take him and a guy like Will Warren to go and get Freddy Peralta. Now, if I'm the Yankees, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping George Lombard Jr. I'm not moving him. I think he's one of the best prospects that I've seen in quite some time. Probably, I think he could potentially be a star in this league. That's just my opinion of George Lombard. He has that makeup. Kid's a good ball player. I think he could be very, very, very good. If I'm the Yankees, I'm not moving him. Now, if you could have a alternate package for Milwaukee, there is one, but it's a very steep one. Roderick Arias, Spencer Jones, Will Warren, Rafael Flores. That's the kind of package you're talking about if you want to go get Freddy Peralta without trading George Lombard Jr. A lot of you probably don't want to move Spencer Jones. In fact, I may not want to move Spencer Jones. Maybe I would move Spencer Jones in a Freddy Peralta trade, but not with 3 others, especially a major league ready starting pitcher or a major league starting pitcher, Will Warren. Regardless of how you feel about him, he's a guy with a lot of team control, and he's a starting pitcher, which is a premium in this league. And then on top of that, you move on from Roderick Arias, who has a lot of potential, and Rafael Flores, who Aaron Boone raved about. that would be another hefty package for Freddy Peralta. And in fact, I don't even think that gets it done because I think other teams can outbid the Yankees. Therefore, you kind of have to include Lombard Jr. if you want a chance at Freddy Peralta. If I'm the Yankees, I don't do it. So I personally don't think a Freddy Peralta trade ends up happening, especially if he keeps on pitching like he's pitching. I don't think it ends up happening. I would like it to happen. I just don't think it ends up happening because of the king's ransom, if you will, Milwaukee would command for Mr. Peralta. So for that reason, I don't think it ends up happening. I don't think the Yankees end up doing it. And we're going to go into the postseason with Max Fried, if healthy, Carlos Rodon, if healthy, maybe Luis Gil. Listen, let's not sleep on Luis Gil, the reigning American League Rookie of the Year award winner. He's coming back at some point this year. We can't forget about him. So he's coming back at some point this year. That's basically, you guys are going to hate me for saying this, it's basically like acquiring somebody through a trade. Right? It is. So Luis Gil's on the way back. Maybe the Yankees are less inclined to go after a starting pitcher. In fact, we don't really have to go after a starting pitcher like Freddy Peralta is going to cost you a ton. Maybe you go after a starting pitcher like Tyler Anderson over there for the Angels, 35 years old. Got some good stuff, having a good year so far this season. Maybe you go after him. It definitely won't take a hefty package to go and get him. You would have to trade something, but nothing really substantial in my opinion anyway. I just think there's inexpensive options out there when it comes to starting pitching, if they were to become available, than trading for Freddy Peralta because he's going to cost you a lot. He's a great talent. I think the world of him. I think adding him to the starting rotation alongside Max Fried and Carlos Rodon, even let's throw in Luis Gil's name in there, Clark Schmidt. That rotation's disgusting, especially in the postseason. That top three, Fried, Peralta, Rodon, are you kidding me? Rodon's been pitching so well. Max Fried, I mean, his numbers speak for themselves, and Freddy Peralta's having a really good 2025. That would be a gross starting rotation, but is it worth moving on from George Lombard Jr.? I don't think it is, especially since George Lombard Jr. now all of a sudden is very close to the major leagues. If this kid breaks out over there in Double-A, and if the Yankees need a third baseman this year, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen. You might see a scenario where the Yankees promote George Lombard Jr. to the New York Yankees this year, if he plays well. Now I'm talking hitting like 350 down there in Double-A and playing a good infield. So if the Yankees still need a third baseman and Lombard is raking down there in Double-A, you could see a potential promotion. Not saying you will, I'm just saying you could if Lombard does end up producing down there in Double-A. We'll see what ends up happening though, but I'm just, as I said it a million times in this video, I'm not trading Lombard Jr. in any trade, really. I don't care who it is. I don't care who you offer me. I don't think there's anybody in baseball, call me freaking crazy, maybe there's someone I'm not thinking of, but I really don't think there's anybody in baseball that I don't think I would trade Lombard for. I can't really apply. I don't even want to say. I don't know if there's anybody that I would move Lombard for. I truly don't. Maybe I don't, Bobby Witt. Okay. I would move Lombard for Bobby Witt. That's probably it. Yeah, I would say Juan Soto, but he broke my heart. But listen, the Yankees have a tough schedule ahead, right? And we just played the San Diego Padres. We won that series. So happy about that. But we have Oakland, who are 20-18. The Seattle Mariners, 22-14. The New York Metropolitans, 24-14. And the Texas Rangers, who in my opinion are underachieving at 18-20. So the beginning of this tough schedule was the San Diego Padres. We won that series. Done. Now, if we could go into Sacramento, funny to say, if we could go into Sacramento, handle Oakland, win at least 2 of 3, all right, cool. We won the first 2 series of this tough schedule. Now we're going in and facing Seattle and the New York Mets back to back. It's not an easy schedule for the Yankees. It's not easy for these 2 teams either. So we're going to see what ends up happening. I'm actually really excited for the Seattle and the Mets series. I'm excited for the Oakland series. I'm pumped for it. I can't wait to watch some good baseball. The San Diego Padres series was such good baseball. Loved watching it. We're going to see what ends up happening, though. But I want to know what you guys think. Would you guys trade George Lombard Jr. for Freddy Peralta? What do you think about the schedule ahead? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.